Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive into one of Python's most essential tools, the list. Seriously, whether you're just starting out or you've been coding for a while, getting comfortable with lists is absolutely key to building pretty much anything cool.
So let's start with a problem that every single programmer runs into. How do you handle a whole bunch of related information all at once without your code turning into a complete and utter mess?
Okay, so let's put ourselves in a real situation. Picture this, you've just built an amazing game. People love it, they're racking up high scores, and now you need to keep track of, say, the top 10 scores. How are you actually going to store that data?
Well, you could make a new variable for every single score, but you can probably see where this is going, right? What happens when you need 100 scores or 1,000? It's not just messy, it's a complete nightmare to manage.
But thankfully, we don't have to live in that chaotic world. Python gives us this incredibly elegant and powerful solution to this exact problem, and it's called a list.
So what is a list, really? At its heart, it's just a container. The best way to think about it is like a box with numbered slots inside. You can put multiple items into these slots, they stay in the order you put them, and you can just label the whole box with one single name. It's simple, organized, and, as we'll see, super flexible.
And here it is in action. Remember that ugly mess from before? Gone. Instead, we have this one clean line. All our scores right there, perfectly organized inside a single variable. It's just so much cleaner, right?
And this isn't just for game scores, not by a long shot. You can use lists for just about anything. A roster of student names, the prices in a shopping cart, a week's worth of temperature data. Basically, anytime you have a collection of similar things you need to keep track of, a list is probably going to be your best friend.
Okay, so we've got this awesome container. Now, how do we actually use it? How do we get things out of it or change what's inside? Let's pop the hood and check out the user manual.
All right, listen up, because this is the #1 most important rule you have to burn into your brain. Python starts counting at 0. Not 1, 0. The first item in the list is at position 0 or index 0. The second item is at index 1, and so on. You just have to remember, first is 0.
Now, what's really cool is how you can grab these items. You can count from the beginning, just like we said. Name 0 gets you the first item, Alex. But, and this is a super handy trick, you can also count from the end using negative numbers. So names -1 will always get you the very last item no matter how long the list is. How cool is that?
Now, you're going to see this error. I promise you, we all do. But don't panic. An index error isn't Python yelling at you. It's just its friendly way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you asked for a position that doesn't actually exist in this list? Think of it as a helpful guide, not a scary error.
Okay, here's where lists really start to show off their power. They're what we call mutable. It's a fancy word, but all it means is that they can be changed after you create them. This is their superpower. So here's our original list of names.
And boom! Look how easy that was. We just target the position we want, in this case index 1, and assign a new value. And just like that, Sam is out and Jordan is in. The list is updated right on the spot.
Beyond just changing items, we can also add or remove them completely. Let's quickly look at 3 common ways. Append is your go-to for just tacking a new item onto the very end of the list. Super fast and easy. Remove is for when you know the value of the item you want to get rid of. And pop just takes the very last item off the end and gives it to you.
So what if you just need to know how many items are in your list at any given moment? Well, Python makes that super simple too. You just use the len function. Wrap your list in len function, and it'll tell you the total count of items inside. Easy.
All right, we know how to store things, change them, and count them. But this next part, this is where lists transform from just a simple storage box into the engine for really powerful programs. We're talking about loops.
There are 2 main ways you can go through everything in a list. On the left, we can loop directly over the values. This is perfect when you just want to do something with each item, like print a greeting. But what if you need to know the position of the item too? That's when you use the method on the right, which gives you both the index number and the item itself.
So here's the deal. You just pick the right loop for the job. If you only care about the values, the simple 4-item in list is cleaner and way easier to read. If you need that position number, then you use the index loop. Oh, and a huge pro tip, it is almost always a bad idea to add or remove things from a list while you're in the middle of looping over it. Trust me, it can lead to some really confusing bugs.
All right, I know that was a lot, but you've now got the essentials of one of Python's most important tools under your belt. So let's do a quick recap and pack our new programming toolkit.
And here it is, your starter toolkit for Python lists. You know how to create them with square brackets, get any item using its index, add new items to the end with append, get the total size with len, and process every single item using a loop.
Seriously, with just these 5 core operations, you can already solve a huge range of problems. So I'll leave you with this final thought. You've just been handed an incredibly powerful and versatile new tool. What are you going to build with it?